We have new insight into the power of food cravings and the human brain. Here's Sharon Alfonsi on what's new and what you do.
The pictures of a cute, chubby kid only tell part of the story. Michael Prager says he didn't just overeat.
I was stealing to get food, both food and money to get food. There was never really enough for me.
But now a new study reveals why some of us can't stop eating. It's not willpower, it's a real addiction, and it has to do with the way our brains are wired. First, researchers asked women a series of questions. Did they feel sluggish, anxious, or withdrawn about food? Then they were shown a picture of a chocolate milkshake. When a healthy woman saw it, a part of the brain that deals with anticipation, called the caudate, does not respond. The picture doesn't trigger any cravings. But when a food addict saw the milkshake picture, that same part of the brain lights up. They have to have it, craving it like a drug. Then the women were given an actual taste of the milkshake. With normal women, the part of the brain that shows you're satiated lights up. They feel fulfilled. But the brain of women with food addictions barely respond. They don't feel satisfied. So doctors say they're more likely to overeat, chasing that fulfilled feeling. Researchers say the way a food addict's brain responds to food is strikingly similar to the way a drug addict's brain responds to drugs.
There's probably very important implications for prevention and treatment that we could learn from the substance abuse literature and apply it to overeating.
To that end, Michael Prager went to rehab to treat his food addiction. Today, he is 165 pounds lighter.
I'm recovering a day at a time, but I have no doubt, oh God, I have no doubt that if I let these boundaries down, I would be back with my head in a trough of food in very short order.
Sharon Alfonsi, ABC News, New York.
Well, how often have you said you're addicted to a food like ice cream or chocolate? Well, now there's scientific proof that you can get hooked on food exactly the same way you can get hooked on drugs. Sharon Alfonsi has more on this groundbreaking new study. We're sort of laughing about it because we all think we have a pass now, but this is serious science.
That's right. A lot of people think a food addiction really isn't a true addiction, but they think it's just, a lack of willpower. Now, there's some new research that shows food addicts are actually wired differently. Now, as we see in a new series, that addiction can often be just as powerful, just as debilitating as a drug addiction.
My name is Robbie, and I'm 50 years old. I am 150 pounds overweight.
The painful process of treating food addiction is at the center of a new series on the Oprah Winfrey Network called Addicted to Food, and it offers rare access into this desperate struggle.
You want to know what we treat here? We call it the big C. We treat control.
And now, new research is showing food addiction isn't just a matter of willpower, it's biology. People who are addicted to food have similar activity in their brains as people who are addicted to drugs or alcohol. These scans are of a brain of a food addict who's been shown pictures of a milkshake. The parts of the brain that light up deal with anticipation. The milkshake triggers cravings in the same regions of the brain as those addicted to drugs or alcohol. An explanation that helps explain why it's such a difficult addiction to overcome. In the treatment center featured on Addicted to Food, we see that some patients can't control their impulses.
Karen reported to me at dinner, right after dinner, Elizabeth got up and went right to the bathroom.
So what do you think? Makes you purged.
That makes you purged.
The show is brutally honest about the desperate struggle these addicts cope with daily.
I have diabetes. This is the first time I feel like I've really been either shocked or scared and realizing I have to change. It needs to happen now because I could die.
A lot of people wonder, how do you know if you overeat or if you actually have a food addiction? Well, one doctor put it this way: if you grab a couple of donuts at the office and you feel bad about it, you probably overate. But if you find yourself thinking about those donuts, obsessing over them, and then maybe stopping off at the donut shop later,
Right.
you might actually have a food addiction. And one of the things that's brought up over and over again is if you have alcoholism, you can avoid going into bars. If you have a food addiction, you got to eat. So
Right.
this is a really tough thing for people to grab a hold of.
What an interesting scientific study. Sharon, thanks so much.